I think many of us really need to start asking this question. Why do we feel the need to discriminate others? Why does what someone else does with their life and the choices they make affect you in any way? This has become a huge problem in this world, is the fact that we see ourselves as so separate, that we feel it's okay to judge someone and to have hatred for someone because they think differently, or they look differently, or they live their life in a different way. But that kind of seems like a cry for help. Because if you're not comfortable with yourself and how you're living, wouldn't that reflect on the world around you? And you'd be uncomfortable with how someone else is doing things. So it's like you're judging other people to justify your own existence and to make you feel better and feel like you have a place in this world. But the thing is we all do anyway. And if everyone focused on themselves and filling up their own cup and healing themselves, would we all really feel the need to judge others and to focus on others and what they're doing? Because none of that matters. Life is a series of experiences, and I believe that we all want to experience good things in this world, and we all want to be happy and well and healthy. But putting out hatred towards others, or thinking that you're better than them, it's not going to make you feel better. And so I really feel like when you build a loving relationship with yourself, and you understand yourself, and you focus on yourself and do what it is you want to do with your life, you won't need to focus on others anymore. And I'm not saying be narcissistic and only live for yourself and ignore others, but realize the similarity we all have with each other, because we may look different or make different choices or think differently, but we're all humans. We're all beings living, human or not, we're all beings living on this planet. And the environment, the ecosystem, there's so much diversity in that, but look how it works together in nature to make things progress and grow. So why are we so offended by our differences? That's the question I want all of you guys to think about. Why is the fact that your neighbor or someone else has a different opinion than you, why does that affect you? Do you feel challenged in your own beliefs? Are you holding on too tightly to a self-image you've created or a belief that you have? Because in this world, there's not one truth. There's room for many different truths and many different perspectives, and we need to come to an exception of that. We need to accept this. Because there's not one way of being, there's not one way of living. And I just sarcastically I just love how the media sells this idea on how we should be living our lives, and how to get status and things like that, because at the end of the day those things don't matter. It matters in life how real you were with yourself, and how much you laughed, and how much you loved, and the experiences you had that shaped you as an individual. What you want to do with your life and your desires, those are true to you, and how you feel about the world is true to you. And it may not be true to someone else, but we don't have to take that personally. I think a lot of the times we need to enforce our beliefs and our opinions on others, but everyone has their own perspective and their own journey in life and their own purpose. So when someone is different, it's fear. We're afraid of what is different than us, and we take it out in anger and discrimination, and we gotta let it go. We gotta let go of the fear and understand that there will be a lot of differences in the world and contradicting truths, and that's okay. We don't need there to be one ultimate truth and one way of living and one proper way. Stop listening to what others tell you. Because a lot of racism and discrimination, it's influenced by others and what you hear. Who cares how someone lives their life? It's got nothing to do with you. And if we're so deeply offended by how nasty people can be, if we don't pay attention to that nastiness, and if we all focus on ourselves and our own growth and development and focus on embracing love, that will surely die out within people. That hatred and that thoughts of like difference and discrimination, because I mean, yes, we have different perspectives and different ideas and we live life differently, but that's people. Like, we're full of variety, but we all have feelings and emotions, and we all want to pursue joy, and we all, we get sad. So how are we so different from each other? When a mother cow loses its child, it cries. It's upset, it's threatened. When it's tortured in those meat factories and things like that, it's in pain, it's depressed, and it's sad. It feels sadness just like we do. We all have felt sadness, we all have felt pain, we all have, felt happiness and things like that. So those are the depths of the core of who we are, is feeling and experiencing. And just because we believe in different things, that doesn't mean we need to hate each other for it. In fact, we can learn from each other and our different perspectives, and we can expand our own minds, and we can grow from that. And I'm just personally, I'm quite done with all this hate that's fueling in the world, and this back and forth fighting against the man. Well, that won't even be necessary if we all changed ourselves and we all, expanded our minds and thought and looked at the bigger picture here, is that we're all coexisting on this planet, and we're just trying to do the best for ourselves and live the best way we can. So sometimes when we forget about that and we forget ourselves, we don't live a happy life, because we're not doing what we actually want to be doing with our lives, and we start getting into things like petty gossip and worrying about what other people are doing and things like that. And it's a waste of time, I'm telling you. All this hate and discrimination and all this stuff that we're doing will not make us a better race. It will not make us happier as individuals. It's not the answer to our problems here. What we need to be doing is, again, we need to bring out the vibration of love. We need to start loving ourselves and knowing it's okay to feel pain. It's okay to feel sadness and really, and not ignore our traumas, and really go through it and really be real with ourselves. Because when we're real with ourselves, we understand that a lot of these negative thoughts towards others and things like that, they're not even real. Because why would you go through life, thinking like it's okay to just hate another person for being black or being Asian or even being white? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's such a very low vibrational, shallow way of thinking, and thinking like that will not bring happiness. And it just fuels more hatred and more separation. And the thing is humans, every human on this planet, we're, even introverts, we're pack animals by nature. We need some form of social security and love. We can't meet our own needs by ourselves. We can meet some, but not all of them. And we need each other to work as a community, to live a high quality of life and live happily. And we can't do that if we don't know ourselves, and we can't do that if we see ourselves as separate beings and fueling this hate in this world. So, in my opinion, if we all focused on ourselves and filled our own cups, we won't feel the need to hate and discriminate. We won't feel the need to, believe just what we're told on the media and just follow what everyone is doing, because we'll do what we need to do for ourselves. And we will resonate with people that are in the same path as we are, and that becomes your community. But when you walk around the world not knowing who you are and feeling separate from every person and fueling in this anger and this resentment towards others, it's only going to grow. because what manifests and what is thought only grows. So we can change that. We can change the way we see things. We can look at things differently. And this is why it's good to embrace things that are different, so we can actually figure out how to do that. Because some of us were stuck in our own mindsets or what we were taught growing up, but it's not always the answer. Sometimes we got to figure things out for ourselves, and only we know what's best for ourselves. So let's start living differently. Let's really start living for ourselves and, living for the highest good. We want good in everything. We want to be happy, and we want to live a high quality life, and it's just never going to happen if we don't focus on us. If we want to change the world for the better, we have to focus on ourselves first. We gotta process the pain and the traumas within our hearts and know that it's okay to feel what we're feeling. And the more we realize it's okay to feel what we're feeling, the less judgment we have on ourselves and the less judgment we'll have on others, because we all go through many of the same things. We all feel sadness and pain and happiness and things like that. And it's good to realize this, because we are similar in those ways, and we're different with ideas, and that's what expands our mind and grows. So we use our similarities to find connection, but we use our differences for growth and expansion. And this is something I really hope a lot of you realize, because I want to see a world that is better than this right now, because of what's currently happening, this separation and this racism going on. I'm not happy with it, and I'm sure a lot of you aren't either. And I hope that all of us can really start making these changes and really getting real with ourselves and the world around us, so we can live towards a better place. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.